Hey, what's up, people? Listen, you're watching In Depth with Pastor Sanders. I hope you like it. I hope you go and watch it and bring people in to watch it. I tell you, you're going to have a fun time watching it. It's just the beginning, but it's some real stuff that we need to go into. All right?
What's going on, everybody? We back, episode 2, in depth with Pastor Sanders, and I have Pastor. Pastor, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. It's
That's
another
good.
Sunday, another day.
That's great. So as y'all know, we started this project. It's called In Depth with Pastor Sanders, where we're gonna be going in depth with different topics of the world of society. Some stuff Pastor won't touch on when he's on the pulpit, but that's what makes this even better in this exclusive content. And so today we're going to be talking about absent fathers in the home and the importance of fathers. So that's what Pastor wanted to touch on. So I'm going to let him go ahead and take it from here, and then we'll get into more in detail. So go ahead, Pastor.
What's up, people? Hey, I hope everybody's having a great day. I just wanted to say that the absent father is something that's plaguing our society, our community, especially to the Black community. I feel that my father, when my father was here, before he passed, it was vital for having him in the home because it let me look at what I could do from a man's standpoint of view, how I needed to act. Um, Absent father is just not a father that's not in the home. An absent father can be a father who's in the home and still not present. You're not in your kid's life. You're not spending time with them. You're not teaching them what it takes to become a man. And you look at our society today, kids, they have no guidance when you can take a kid who's 12, 14, and they're actually cursing like they're 25, 45. That's where we are right now. The father being absent causes a burden not only on the mother, but also on the children. It is stressful to have a child grow up without a father. I can say that because I've seen kids who I coach, the way they react, the way they respond, and they look for somebody to bond with. You'd be surprised what kids would tell you. You know, my father's not in my life. I haven't seen my father. That's painful. That's painful to see a kid who wants to be something but have no guidance. Let's just be honest. The mom, she can't do it all. Much as they would want to, and all that they mothers do. Hats off to y'all, but that father is vital. Just like our Father who's in heaven is vital to us, that father in that home is vital to children, to society as a whole. Now, let's just be real. We know there's some good dads and there's some bad dads, but they're still dads at the end of the day. And we have to learn to, if you're a father, I'm speaking directly to you. I'm speaking directly to you. Spend some time with your children, some quality time. If they play ball, go watch them play. If they're in school, attend the conferences with the teachers. Find out what's going on with your child. Find out what their interest is. And here's what I tell guys: stop trying to live your life through your child. Let your child live his life. Whatever he wants to get, go do it, or whatever she wants to do. My children, of course, I play sports. My son plays sports. My other two boys decided to go different ways. But in them going in different ways, along with my daughter, I let them do theirs because that's what's important. Being there. Absentee fathers.
Pastor, let me ask you a quick question. Given the fact that you have a daughter and sons, how do you father your particular father style? How do you father each gender?
It's different. Yes, it is. And each kid is different. Each child is different, and you have to let them be them. My daughter, she's different, but I have to let her be her. My youngest son, he's different. I have to let him be him. Look where DJ gets musical theater. So that's what he wants to do, and so I follow his pattern. Sean's a rapper; he wants to do that. I follow his pattern. Sierra's a cook; she likes to cook, So I follow her pattern. Dwayne, of course, he's supposed to be.
Right.
I follow his pattern. So they all are unique. They all do different things. And my wife is now. I said Jay wants to be in clothing. That's what he wants to do. Trinity hadn't made up her mind yet, but all of them are different. All of them are different. And the thing that makes it unique, CJ, is that you let them find their path, not you finding a path for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Pastor, what do you feel about when people show favoritism to each children? Do you think there's nepotism in the home? Like, say if you have a home of 5 children, and one you let slide, and then the rest you come down with an iron fist. What do you say to the fathers that may not know how to treat everybody with fair treatment?
Yeah, that's detrimental to that child. That child looks as themselves as an outcast, or not in father's favor, or not one of the father's children that he wants to be around. You may not know it, but eventually the child brings it out. All you gotta do is watch. Watch how they react to what you say. Watch how they react to what they do. And eventually they'll tell you the way that you treat them. And to me, there can't be favoritism. Because if you have 3 kids, you have 3 kids. You have 5 kids, you have 5 kids. All of them should be your favorite. Every last one of them. Of course, they are all different. But that love, that respect, that support, that bond should be with every one of them. Because if one child sees you treating 2 other children better than him or her, it'll come back. And it's not good. It's not good. Favoritism in children is not good.
Father, what would you say to a father that maybe he had the child at a point in his life? Because I know my therapist told me, your parents are human beings too.
Right.
And, what would you say to a father that, like I said, had his child early on in life, really when he had the child, really didn't know how to parent, and then later on in life, he wants a relationship, but years have passed and you miss a crucial time in that kid's life. Do you think it's too late to come back into the child's life? Yeah. What would you say to that?
No, it's only too late when you're not here. It's only too late when you're 6 feet under. It's never too late. Never give up. Keep trying. Keep writing. Keep calling. But give that child some time if you haven't been in their life. Because they have to adjust to knowing who you are. And children wants to know their father. Let's just make it real. I don't care what society says. A young lady or a young boy, or they want to know their father. They may have gone through life without them, but they want to know who their father is. So to all fathers out there, to all dads, it's never too late. But the question you got to ask yourself, are you willing to spend the time to get to know your child? You can't make a phone call and say they didn't call me back, and so I'm not going to worry about it. No, you're the absentee father. You have to keep pressing. The child doesn't have to press for you. You're the one that's absent. You're the one that has to keep pressing, keep asking, keep showing up to school, keep showing up to ball games. Let them see that you are trying to be active in their life.
Wow, that's powerful, man. What about the dads that come around, like when their child becomes successful, the part-time father? What would you say to that?
I don't understand that. That's why I put it just like that. You know this has been your child all this time, and now that he is making it or she is making it, you want to show up on the scene. What is your purpose? What happened to you prior to that? Why wasn't you there to support them in whatever they was doing? Now that they've made it, now they up there, you trying to be with them, And I can put in a song that says, "Back then they didn't want, but now you all over, you everywhere where I'm at. I'm making them money now, but now you here with me all of a sudden, and you come up claiming you're my dad."
Right.
That child really is not looking to hear that, because all in their mind they thinking my success has drove your presence. You wasn't there when I wasn't successful, but now since I'm successful, my success has drove your presence to be where I am. And I really don't have too much to say on that part, CJ, because most dads know when they are not in their child's life. Let me change that. All dads know when they're not in their child's life. I said the only way they don't know if they know it wasn't their child.
Right.
But besides that, all dads know when they're not in their children's life.
Well, Pastor, I feel like it's non-excusable for you to not be there for your children. Quite natural. I mean, quite frankly, I don't respect it unless, like you said, it's something where you're deceased and you physically can't be there. But if you're Pastor, I've grown up with classmates and good friends where fathers are in the home right across the hall, and you're so distant.
Right. That's why I alluded to earlier. You could be in the home but still absent. You can be in the home and still absent. You can be in the home. You may say hello. You may eat breakfast or dinner. You may go here and there, but there's no quality time. There's a difference between spending time and quality time. Quality time says, I'm not worried about me or what I got planned. It's about you. It doesn't matter what school my children was in, no matter what kind of event they were at, I was there because that was my children. I didn't make excuses not to go. Here's what I'm going to tell you, every father. Stop making excuses not to be where your children are. If you can make time for everything else, schedule some time in your calendar with your children and your children only.
Pastor, yeah, man. I mean, as a black man, I don't have kids yet, but I just feel like, why have them if you're not going to be there for them?
Right.
Our kids are a piece of us. Like,
Right.
why would you not want to support?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, Pastor, what would you say to the fathers that are great fathers, but are running into issues with the child's mother? What would you say to that?
I can say it very, 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 very good on that one. Listen, from my experience, you have to let go of that. You can't dwell. You can't dwell on that. You can't dwell on that. Regardless of where it takes you, where it leads you, you can't dwell on that with your child's mother. My daughter was out of wedlock, and we didn't have the greatest relationship. But it didn't stop me from my duties as a father. It wasn't, brothers. It's not just about the child support. Let me drive that home. When I pay child support, that's enough. That's not enough. It's not just about the child support, and you are the supporter. That's your child, but it's the child support. It's the medical. It's the insurance. It's the benefits. It's being there in her or his life, regardless of what going on with you and the mom. And sooner or later, you got to get along with the mama. You just got to know. You just got to come to some type of agreement that you're going to be cordial, because the child is in the middle. And if you have any issues with the mom, I got a question to ask you. Have you tried to solve the issues? Have you tried to have a sit-down conversation and say, look, it's our children. We may not never be together again, but these are our children. Let's do what's right by them. And if you still don't get no support, still do what you have to do as a man, as a father, because that daughter, that son is still going to look up to you.
Now, Pastor, I know this episode we're touching on for the men and for the fathers, but what would you say about the mothers that the men are absolutely nowhere to be around, but they're raising young men or young women on their own? What would you say to them?
Find a mentor. Find some men that would help you mentor your child. No, ladies, no disrespect. You can never be a man. You can never be a man. That's not God's order. As much as y'all say, well, it's Father's Day and I ought to get a present. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You're doing a great job of raising your children. If you're raising them properly in the right way. If that father's not there, maybe you have brothers. Maybe they have uncles. Maybe they have neighbors or mentors. But try to get a man in that child's life, especially boys, because we know how boys can be. They need guidance. They look for guidance. They don't want to be like they are. They look for a man to help them along the way. So to all the ladies, I encourage you, I applaud you for the job that you do with your children, for standing up, for being there, for making sure they're in school, for feeding them when the father's nowhere in the picture. I applaud you for that. But do all you can to find a mentor or a man that will help you with your child.
Pass a couple more questions, then we're gonna get up out of here. Okay, so for the fathers that's Father's Day come around in June, they want to celebrate, they want to go out to eat, but they haven't been there with their children. What would you say?
What would I say to that? How do I say that? What can I say to that? You haven't been there, but now Father's Day, and you want to celebrate with your child. You don't spend any time with Father's Day, you want to celebrate with your child. You don't be there at none of the events, but you want to celebrate with your child, your daughter or your son. If you haven't, this is my honest opinion. If you haven't been there then, why try to be there for one day? Father is not just a one-day privilege. It's 365 days a year. That's what fathers do. Regardless if there's never a Father's Day, every day is Father's Day. If you wait to June to get the prize, to get the reward, to get pictures on social media, that's not what it's about. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. So I want to say, challenge all the fathers, don't wait for Father's Day to get your child. In fact, CJ, don't wait for Christmas to get your child. Don't wait for Thanksgiving to get yours, to pick up your children, spend time with them. Spend time with them as much as you can because they need it.
Pastor, let me ask you this. What was the coolest gift that you got from your kids on Father's Day?
Their presence.
Mm.
It wasn't the watch,
Material,
it wasn't
right.
the jewelry, it wasn't the jersey, the cowboy stuff. It was the presence of my children, a gift that cannot be replaced. I don't care if I don't get anything on. In fact, I'll go first, CJ. I don't care if I get anything on Father's Day. I don't care if I get anything on my birthday. I don't care if I get anything for Christmas. The presence of my children is my gift every single day.
Nice. Pastor, what would you say to the father that, like, he really wants to be there, he just don't know how, he don't know the first step?
Right.
What would you say?
Find somebody, another man that can get you that first step. A brother that can guide you to what it takes to get that, start that relationship. If that's your desire, speak to a man that can help you bridge that gap so you and your children can start that relationship. That's what I would say. You don't give up, but find someone that you can bridge that gap with.
Pastor, you got men like myself, don't have children yet, but want to be blessed from God with children one day. And I always hear from men that are fathers that they say that's the best gift that God can ever give you. Would you agree to that?
I agree, 100%.
What is it that makes it so special?
It's you. It's a part of you. It's something that you have produced. It's your DNA, as say, and you want to cherish. You want to cherish your DNA to a point where you feel so much love for those children that you would do anything for them. That's the important. That's how I am with my kids. There's nothing I wouldn't do, right or wrong. I got to be there for them. Now, I'm not going to support their wrong, but right or wrong, I just want to be there for them. And that's the part of a father that drives us to keep going. We don't keep going so much for ourselves. We keep going for what we're leaving behind, who we're leaving behind, and what are we leaving behind for them. That's why we drive ourselves to be successful.
Pastor, we're at the segment of the show where we answer questions. And I got a question from somebody, and they asked me to ask the pastor. The pastor has a direct communication with God, right? Does his or her prayers get answered before God's other children?
So let me back up that. Everybody has direct access to God.
Right.
The pastor has no favoritism with God. He's been called out to teach and preach His word. But everybody has direct communication with God. Nobody is privileged to say the pastor get prayers through faster than someone else. Everyone has direct access to God themselves. So I'll tell people say, well, pray for me. Pray for yourself. Pray to Him yourself, because you have that ability. God can hear your prayers if you would go to Him directly. So no, we don't have any no bond with God that He answers our prayers before He answers anybody else's. No.
Okay, Pastor. Real quick, I'm gonna throw this in there. This is unscripted, but could you tell me the difference from my own personal knowledge? I mean, I tried to do my research, but I still haven't came up with answers. What is the difference between a pastor, reverend, priest, and minister?
Okay. Reverend is a title that was given a long time ago, but it means to be reverenced, and the only one that should be reverenced is the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
A pastor is one who is over the flock. A minister is one who's been called to preach, but is not pastoring, it's not over flock.
Okay.
That is the difference between those three right there.
Okay.
So when you see people say reverend, actually we should be saying reverend because the only person that gets reverence is God Himself.
Right.
We should
Okay.
be pastors or we should be ministers. We shouldn't be reverend. It's still common. People still say it because it's back in the day.
Yeah.
But when you know better,
You do that.
you do better.
Now, Pastor, I've seen some pastors go by doctors, like on Instagram, on our page that I run. Y'all go follow, by the way. I see there's a pastor I follow on our church page. Her name is Dr. Kelly, but she's a pastor. How could you tell me, like, how come some pastors have doctors and some don't?
Because they have a doctor's degree.
Okay. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Okay.
We got a pastor that's called himself a doctor. They don't have a doctor's degree. He's not. He's a pastor. You gotta have a doctor's degree to be called a doctor.
Doctor. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Pastor. So last thing, could you give us a scripture of the day that when people watch this, they'll live with this until we record next time?
It's one of my favorite scriptures, Romans 8:28. It's one that I live by. Romans 8:28. I don't care what you do. If you can get this scripture embarked in your mind, in your DNA, in your heart, you can roll with the scripture all day long. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Lord, to them who are the called according to his purpose. And we know, we don't think about it, we don't ponder it, we're not confused about it. We know the next part, that all things, good or bad, happy or sad, doesn't matter what the situation is. And we know that all things work. How do they work? Together. That's the scripture I would give anybody. Because I don't care what you're going through, it's working for your good. I don't care what you think about it, it's working for your good. I don't care where you find yourself right now, it's working for your good. All you have to do is think, it's working for my good.
All right, there y'all have it. Episode 2. Well, it's really the first episode. In depth with Pastor Sanders. There's CJ here behind the camera. Pastor Sanders. We'll see y'all next time. God bless.
God bless.